Hello Internet, I am Papatron, the concerned alien parent. There's a lot for me to cover in this video, so let's get right into it and have some fun. Transformers make up some of my first memories. Optimus Prime transforming to fight Megatron, Galvatron going insane and Rodimus Prime stepping up, Section and Chrome Dome battling it out, Jinrai fighting the death machine that was Overlord, Starsaber clashing with Deathsaurus in epic battles in space. I loved watching their adventures, seeing what happens and their struggles. They travel to different planets, locations on Earth, handled and creating problems of their own. It was beyond interesting. It was fascinating, wildly different from anything made and written at the time, even compared to some sci-fi powerhouses that would put many other writers to shame. For one, robots. Not because they are robots and that automatically makes everything awesomer, but because of the creativity and the imagination. We did have sci-fi explore and do robots in writing, TV shows, movies, comic books, but never to this extent, never to such a level easily accessible to anyone of any age. How are we different? Was a question that was explored more in some episodes than the others, but there was something made obvious from the get-go. The harder question to answer was, how are we similar? I think part of the sheer influence that Generation 1 had was due to how much the audience connected with the characters. I find myself talking on occasion to fans of the show that loved even the characters that had little to no screen time in Generation 1, like Skids, Reflector. The Rainmakers had no identity beyond background characters. Dion, Holler, the list just keeps on going. Obviously, the writers and the animation studio did a terrific job. Then there's the transformation aspect. While throughout mythologies there is rich lore of changelings and shapeshifters, this is an entirely different dimension, which introduces storytelling that we couldn't even dream of before. Instead of a few beings being able to transform, we now have an entire race that does it, and it is perfectly natural, even expected. Even considered deranged if they give up that ability, even having multiple alt forms. Transformers that turn into other Transformers, or ever-changing beings. We're still coming up with new stories to tell just using this ability to transform. How, for example, Transformers Prime tackled a story about missing T-Cogs was brilliant, or how in IDW sometimes aspects of transformation were made pivotal in some stories. Another thing that I eventually came to appreciate as I explored Transformers is how much content there is and just how diverse it can be. There is something for everyone to enjoy, of any mood, of any age, in many different media formats. You can find from comic books and mangas all the way to critically acclaimed games and movies. The fandom creates a lot of content that adds even more flavor to the franchise, from little comic strips with funny stories to entire collaborations and huge, gigantic projects. I admired Optimus Prime a lot, and still do. Big shocker, right? What is there not to admire? Unshakable moral compass, tough, gentle, selfless, caring, assertive, wisdomous, competent. This came about all over again when I rediscovered Transformers, remembering why I fell in so much love with them. Optimus Prime was a role model for me when I was going through depression, combating suicide, dealing with an identity crisis. But as I went through hardships, I started identifying more and more with lots of other Transformers characters, especially Megatron. While Optimus Prime had this unshakable moral compass, Megatron had willpower and ambition like no other. How many times has Megatron miserably failed, crashed and burned? And how many times has he gotten back up again? And how successful did he end up being? In a way, he is the living embodiment of road to success is paved with failure. He never lowered the bar or the standards. It was never all or nothing deal, it was always all of it. If this is not admirable, if this tenacity, if this ferocity is not admirable, I don't know what is. And it is pretty easy to see characteristics that define a lot of these characters and just how relatable they can be. And as I went through my life, the more white and black perception of the world that I used to have started drifting away. I saw just how unique Transformers are and the situations that they deal with, their dilemmas, which all directly translated to real life. Transformers essentially became a bridge for me from trying to escape reality, an abusive home, into the actual reality and how things actually worked. They offered a more realistic and practical and matter-of-fact view of the world, which was pretty much exactly what I wanted and needed. Let's find out after these messages. It's the morning. You just woke up and you have to roll for initiative. That first roll will determine how the rest of your day goes. Do you keep failing the rolls every day? How many times did it feel like you rolled a 1? Well, no more. With D20 coffee, you don't need to worry. It will be like you rolled a 20 every time, every day. The people behind this product proudly stand for maximum quality and guaranteed satisfaction while bringing you great variety at affordable prices. No matter what bean it is or how you want it, you can rest assured it will be done to the highest standards and handled with the greatest of care. All you have to do is go to the shop section, select your desired brew, indicate whether you want whole bean or ground, and your quantity. Before you know it, you'll have a new fantastic way to improve your day. Be sure to check out their Facebook and Instagram pages. They love memes, and so do we. Don't forget to join their mailing list to get the latest scoops on upcoming sales, hottest coffee trends, and new arrivals. But wait, there's more! Apply the coupon code Papatron, and not only will you get a discount, you will also help support my channel. And remember, if it is not from D20 Brewers, it might as well be in the sewers. That's www.d20brewers.com. 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 And now, let's get back to the video. On more than several occasions, the artwork and styles influenced me too. Comic books may not be considered high art, and the people who draw them may not be considered Leonardo da Vinci's or Michelangelo's, but their skill, their dedication, and passion cannot be denied by any means or measure. So just because something is not considered to be high art doesn't mean it's worthless or cannot and should not be appreciated for the excellence and achievement. That is a rather narrow-minded view. A different art style may carry a unique atmosphere that can play to and enhance the reading experience. Look no further than IDW's More Than Meets the Eye, Robots in Disguise, or the Autocracy trilogy to see exactly what I mean. While other stories absolutely did have an impact on me, Full Metal Alchemist is my all-time favorite anime, Berserk is an unparalleled manga, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the single most ambitious project in storytelling yet. At the end of the day, I feel like Transformers have a lot more to offer, if not in already existing content, then in the potential for what they have. I'll make a separate video about that at some point. Transformers, in fact, became a creative outlet for me. It is how I started on drawing, writing, making memes, or making anything at all. Not only is it fun for some major roleplay with well over 1,000 unique characters to choose from, it also can be used to push our imagination and creativity. For example, how would a mechanical species even come to existence? How would they evolve, and what would they evolve into? What would their culture be? How would they even reproduce? As they are generally tougher, live longer, and do not possess a lot of the same weaknesses as we organics do, how would their culture develop, and what would their morals be? While a good majority of Autobots and Decepticons can be easy to fully flesh out, there are tons of characters that are not only extremely challenging to fully flesh out, but sometimes would be impossible due to censorship and writer's ability. Take Overlord, for example. Any of the Decepticon Justice Division members, or Dinobots even. Depending on the universe, they range from easygoing to absolute abject nightmares. This can really push a writer's own sanity and ability to the edge. I was raised on classical literature ranging from simple and fun adventures of writers many probably never even heard of, all the way up to Tolstoy, Wilde, Verne, Pushkin, Twain, so on and so forth. I still read a lot, however, without a doubt, some of the stories that have been done with Transformers can give some classics a run for their money. There are tons of other series that I could get into, and did get into, but it would never have been as deep-rooted as Transformers. That being said, exploring what else is out there is something that only helps enrich Transformers. Go on any art website like DeviantArt or Tumblr, spend an hour just looking around at the artwork, and you will see all the new and different things people combined Transformers with. It truly is mind-boggling and insanely inspiring. At the end of the day, I do enjoy a good story. I think I would rather deal with a story about Transformers because it is something different. We have been writing stories about humans ever since we could. This is a fantastic break from not just humanity, but organics in general. It offers a completely different experience and a major break from that pace. Transformers, much like Dungeons & Dragons, offer loads of opportunity for original storytelling without warping any original story too much or at all even. Or we can just come up with a universe of our own. The door is always unlocked. Thanks to the versatility of Cybertronians, you can get even more options than writing for humans or any other race, which obviously gives more character development in ways we only recently started exploring. There have even been versions created as insects, animals, magical creatures, even knights in medieval times. Transformers is also how my wife and I became much closer as friends. At the time, she was just a friend. We would spend hours upon hours talking over MSN. Remember MSN? That thing that became Windows Live, and then they tanked it for Skype? Discussing and doing little role plays, having a good laugh, swapping fanfiction. I remember how I spent good 2 to 3 hours putting all the Transformers we have, over 600 pieces at the time, on their knees, standing or saluting when I was prepping to propose to her. I also enjoy going to Transformers Convention, TFCon, a convention for Transformers in Canada and USA. Seeing and hearing the fans and the people who worked on the franchise never ceases to amaze me. The fans are another major highlight for Transformers. The community is very engaged. There are some bad apples, even if they don't quite realize it, but that is something that can be said about literally any community out there. The fandom is constantly growing in mindset, numbers, and heart. More and more donations are being made every single year at Transformers Convention, TFCon. I love seeing all the people cosplaying, bringing in their art pieces and creations, the happy faces when they meet and make new friends. It's a blast. 2 years ago, at TFCon, in fact, we received an absolutely phenomenal gift from a fellow fan and friend who not only is one of the most dedicated fans I've come across, but they are also doing a whole bunch of other stuff. We ended up meeting a huge number of absolutely amazing people and became friends with some of them. I love creating stuff, and the community is exactly perfect for it. There's always something new to cover. The sheer amount of options offered, opportunities to breathe new life into old and new characters by a million of different means. One of the ways I want to briefly talk about, because it is pretty close to home, are the Transformers toys. Shout out Mickey Mouse franchise, this is pretty much the perfect place for me to start making and designing toys. Hasbro has always been trying something new. Some of the toys they made are my favorites. Recent Combiner Wars toy line was phenomenal. Titan Masters made for a lot of good times. Power of the Primes was really fun, and now we have Siege to look forward to. Third-party toy makers provide a colossal amount of variety and their own stories. It is a bit of a pastime for me to be looking around at conventions or online at all the different names and designs that they have, and I have to admit, this is both inspired and inspiring. I certainly hope that the franchise and the fandom only grow bigger and stronger and better, and more people from all the different places come to join. I can't see myself leaving this fandom anytime soon, and I'm eager to see where things go with the new movies, with the upcoming cartoons, with the video games, with the sheer amount of expansion Hasbro has been doing lately, the comic books, everything. This was Papatron, the concerned alien parent, talking about the meaning of Transformers to himself. To me. To moi. Little old moi. Now that I got that off my chest, we can move on to actually discussing Transformers. What do you like about Transformers? How did you get into the franchise to begin with? Are you looking forward to the new stuff coming up? Share in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching my video. If you enjoyed my content, leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And I'll see you in the next transmission. Till all are fun.